So video games have been quite interesting as of the last few years, I guess you could say, with COVID and, players skyrocketing and, game companies thinking, that's the big number, we need to stay at this number or higher. And then when everybody starts going home, going back to work from lockdown and all that, the number starts going down and now all these companies are struggling. And now we're seeing a lot of layoffs and it doesn't help with the current economic state of the world, and now we're seeing price increases on not just games, but hardware and accessories. Um, it's just crazy. $80 for Mario Kart is insane. A lot of people were expecting Grand Theft Auto 6 to be the game to open up the floodgates for $80 being the new like status quo for games for their prices. But no, Nintendo jumped in and they were like, no, Mario Kart World, $80, you know, um, which is insane to me that these companies think that $80 is really like the price point to go for. And I'm sure there's a lot of uh, stuff that goes into it, such as, the cost of things and whatnot. But when it really comes down to is I'm not paying $80 for a game. And, due to just the current state of the gaming industry with, the prices rising on everything. We used to see game consoles halfway through a generation get price cuts, and some people will wait for that. There are people that will wait for these price cuts, and then when the price cuts happen, then they'll swoop in and get the next generation console. And then by then there'll be plenty of games for them to play. But that's not the case anymore, with Xbox recently announcing price rises for their consoles and games, and PlayStation probably going to follow suit soon. I believe in some parts of the world, PlayStation has increased the prices of PS5, but I don't think they have increased the prices yet in the US. But yeah, it's just insane. It's hard, and then there's the current like mindset, I guess you could say, of the industry, with live service games and whatnot. We're even seeing returns of old, beloved franchises such as Crazy Taxi and Skate. I'm not sure if Crazy Taxi is live service. I know it's multiplayer. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be live service. I don't think it's been confirmed. Um, but yeah, like we're seeing returns of beloved series, and it's like no, it's like yeah, you've been wanting a new Skate game for a while. But this one isn't. This one's live service, and it's always online. You can't play it offline. It's always online, and it's frustrating because you know these live service games. A lot of them are fun, but it's like there's so many, and live service games really just require so much time from you. And but there's only but so many games I can play, and there's only but so much time in my day that I can give to a game. And Um, it's like sometimes I just have to just not play a live service game. And, that'll then, a lot of people start doing that. And then, like, the live service game doesn't get enough players. And then, they're like, oh, well, we got to shut it down and we got to lay off people. And, oh, now we got to close the studio. And it's like, damn. It's like Concord. Like, Concord came out and I played a little bit of Concord. I played the beta, but I felt Concord was a little underbaked. I felt it should have stayed in the oven a little more. Um, I don't know, the gameplay felt off. The gunplay didn't feel as fun, and I feel that so if you have developers that worked on Call of Duty, Halo, and Destiny, they should be able to nail down how to make the gunplay feel. Um, I just felt that it could have used a little bit longer, just a little bit longer time in the oven to kind of spruce it up. Uh, but no, they just canceled it, and I was expecting PlayStation to bring it back as a free to play game or something, but no, they just straight up canceled it. They were like, no, we're done with this. Um, which is crazy, and then they just shut down the studio that made Concord. They just shut it straight down, and yeah, it's just the industry kind of sucks right now. But it doesn't suck entirely. Like we are getting great games. So I've been playing Clair Obscur Expedition 33 lately. Such an amazing game. I'm enjoying it so much. Um, And I would say it's the Baldur's Gate 3 of 2025. Like it's a wonderful game. Um, but when you look at just like the prices of the games rising and all that, like gaming feels more like a luxury now, and it kind of sucks. Um, I mean, $60 when games were originally just $60, I would look at the game, I would look at the price and I'm like, okay, $60, this game, I feel like it's worth $60, But then they raised the price to $70 back in like 2021, and so then I was looking at the price a little more. I'm like, okay, the $70, uh, you know, maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't, maybe I'll wait for a sale, we'll see. And then now they're rising to $80, and I'm just like, no, I'm not. I refuse to buy a game at $80 no matter what it is. Like I have been waiting for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond for a long time. I'm a huge Metroid fan. I love Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime was the first Metroid game I played on console. Uh, the actual first Metroid game I have played was Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. But anyways, um yeah, like I'm excited for Metroid Prime 4, but if that comes out and they're just like, "Hey, $80," I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it for $80. I'm just not. And I feel like we're going into a future where it's all digital, and like I understand the pros of digital games, but I like my physical. I feel like I have a little bit more ownership over a game when I own it physically, because digital, I feel like they could take that away from me at any moment. At any moment, they could just be like, no, no, you can't play the game no more. You can't play the game no more. And I mean, like some companies do that. The Crew is the perfect example for that. There's an ongoing class action lawsuit about that right now. But yeah, I've been thinking a lot about the industry, and it's kind of due to these prices and whatnot. It's kind of caused me to rethink the way I play games. Because I used to just buy the new games as they came out. If it was a game I was really excited for, I would buy it and whatnot. And I feel like that's still going to be the same thing, but I'm reducing how much I'm buying games even more now. There are games that I want that are coming out this year, such as Death Stranding 2. But I'm going to skip Death Stranding 2 because I want Metroid and I want Ghost of Yotei. And I got Doom: The Dark Ages. I got that. That's coming in um next week. But yeah, I don't know. All of this is that caused me to just kind of rethink the way that I play games, and I've been going back a lot on my backlog. I feel like with all these price hikes right now, it's like this is kind of perfect time to go and knock out some games in your backlog. I started Hollow Knight. I was getting far into it. I've never beat Hollow Knight. I got pretty far into it. But then I started playing Expedition 33, but I will go back to Hollow Knight. I plan on it. But I made a list of games that I want to beat by the end of the year. Here we are in May, and I haven't even beaten out one game on the list. Um, the list is Metaphor ReFantazio. I started it, but never got around to beating it, so I want to play that. Metaphor is such a big game. It's finding the time. It's an RPG, 80 to 100-hour RPG. You got to find the time. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I love Indiana Jones. Game looks fun. I have Half-Life on there. I've never played Half-Life. Hollow Knight. Okami. I put Okami on there. And I'm trying to think of some of the other games I had on there. I'm trying to list them off the top of my head. I don't have the list like right on me right now. I put Metroid Prime 3 on there because I've never beat Prime 3. So I put that on there. And yeah, can't think of the other games. I know there was more games on there. But I can't think of them right now. But yeah, like I kind of made a list of games that I thought of that are in my backlog. Pokemon Black and White is another one. That's another one. I've Pokemon Black and White was the one Pokemon game I never got because when it came out, I was never able to get it, and now it's stupid expensive. Um, but yeah, I've been just going back to my backlog, just trying. I haven't really been worrying too much about new releases. Like I want to play Oblivion Remastered, but I just kind of have put it on the back burner for now. I'll get to it when I get to it, but Because I know I want to play Oblivion remastered when I have time, when I have a lot of time. Uh, and right now I don't have a lot of time, but when I have a lot of time, there's no new game releases that month. Be like, okay, Oblivion remastered, you know. But yeah, the gaming industry is all doom and gloom, and it's kind of forced me to rethink my way of playing games, but I'm not going to let it affect my way of enjoying games. And I'm still always going to enjoy games. I have for a very long time, since I was like two, playing, like I said, Metroid 2 on my Game Boy. Like I've enjoyed video games for a long time, and I don't think that's ever going to go away. It's lasted this long. Um, so, it's just you just kind of have to look at the doom and gloom and just kind of put it to the side, and just kind of focus on what you want to play. And that's what I've been doing. Like I've been instead of focusing on what's the next big new game. Like while I am still looking at the big new games, like I'm not anxiously waiting for the next new game and then buying it immediately and all that. Like no, like I'm taking a step back. Like I said, I'm still gonna buy some of the new games, Ghost of Yotei, Metroid Prime, but those are the only two games I've told myself. Those are the only new games I'm buying this year. The rest of them, I'll put in the back burner, I'll put in the backlog, and buy them eventually. And then by the time I want to get around to them, maybe they'll be on sale. Um, but I've just been focusing more on just my backlog and playing older games. So, um, yeah. So I recommend doing that. If you feel like you're just kind of getting burnt out of video games, if it's due to playing constant, new games over and over and over, or if you're just getting burnt out because you feel because of the state of the industry as a whole, or just the economic state of the world. I recommend just going back on your backlog, playing older games. I feel playing older games when you start to feel burnt out on games helps a lot. Um, it shows you, there are more to games than just your open world game or live service games. I just feel like that's all we see nowadays is open world or live service. But anyways, that's it. That's it for me. I just wanted to ramble about my thoughts of the industry and you know, just how my way of playing games has evolved because of it. I'm still gonna get the Switch 2. I have it pre-ordered. Um, but when it comes to buying new games for it, it's just on a case by case basis. Just like how Nintendo said, "Oh, we're gonna price our games on a case by case basis." I'm gonna buy your games on a case by case basis, and if they're $80, I ain't buying your game. It's just simple as that. But yeah. Anyways, that's it from me. I'm gonna head on off here, and hope you all have a wonderful day. And let me know if there are any games you're playing, any games you're playing. If it's a game from your backlog, or if it's a newer game. Let me know. Let me know what you're playing. See.